This Raw Vision video is brought to you by Metro Solar, proud partner of the Richmond Football Club. G'day Tiger fans, welcome to Raw Vision and the spotlight on round 23. We of course take on the Sydney Swans up at ANZ Stadium on Saturday afternoon at 4:40. It's going to be a massive game, and as always I'm joined by Danny Daly. And Danny, this is it, mate. Can we do it again?
A little bit shaky at the minute, getting a bit nervous about it all, but it's a good position to be in. You wouldn't have thought this 8 weeks ago, would you, mate? So soak it all up and hopefully see how we go. 8
weeks ago on the spotlight we were battling, we're thinking how are we going to get through the last part of the year. It's been a great turnaround, we've got to be honest about that.
Yeah, it has. I must admit 8 weeks ago I was a bit nervous about doing this show, and I think we were equal bottom at that stage, and it's been a great turnaround by the players and the club, and getting some reward for our efforts now, and it's basically up to us now. If we can get the job done, well, we're in, so we don't have to rely on anyone else losing or winning, so it's a good position to be in.
Fate's in our hands, and I guess it's a good way to go into maybe a final series. If you can knock off the best team in the comp, you'd then go in feeling pretty good about things.
Yeah, you do, and I think the reality is we've got to beat good sides, so we may as well start from this week. And one thing it'll do for us if we can get over the line for Sydney is give us a lot of confidence moving into September, so no bigger challenge than going over to Sydney and playing the Swans at ANZ Stadium.
It certainly is. So let's have a look at the team, and the one inclusion there, Dustin Martin, who didn't play last week against St Kilda. Massive in for us.
Yeah, it is. Dusty was probably 80-20 last week, but we just thought, considering it was a bit of back soreness and that we'd give him a bit of a spell and get him right for this week. So he comes back into the side, and obviously he's had a terrific year, and we missed him last week just with his link up and ability to impact the scoreboard. So he's a massive inclusion for us.
Ben Lennon's the man to go out, just a young player.
Yeah, he's had a bit of a feel for AFL footy this year, and his last 2 weeks as sub, he's come on probably late in games, so unfortunately someone's got to make way, and so it's young Benny this week.
Oh, well, we're glad to have Dusty back for a big game, and I think one thing in this game is going to be how both teams' defences cope. And if you have a look at the last 8 weeks, I was pretty impressed with this. Richmond are actually the second best defence over the last 8 week period.
Yeah, it's some good stats there, mate. It's probably one area when you talk back about 8 weeks ago that we really concentrated on was our defence. We've done a lot of training, a lot of vision on how we can improve that, and you can see there through the scores there that we've certainly done that. And we're, as you said, number 2 behind Sydney, so it will be the battle of defences this week. That's how they play. The other thing is we've obviously been able to score as well as reducing the opposition score. So if we can keep Sydney to below 69 and score our 90 or 100, we'd all be very happy, I reckon.
What do you put that down to? Is it just the all-over ground defence? It's not just the back six, is it?
No, it's the all-over ground defence. I think one of the things is our ability to press in against the opposition and try and keep the ball in our forward half, which was a massive indicator for us last year. First half of this year we weren't great on it, but I think, having whippets like Shane Edwards and Brett Delidio and Red Dog Gordon down in the forward.
Red Dog
allows us to put pressure, but also, I think you spoke about it last week, our defenders being able to press right down on their opposition and not give them any space has been critical for us as well.
Well, the big clash, obviously, Buddy Franklin, everyone's talking about, and we know that Rancy will play on him, and they've had some good matchups over the last couple of years. And I reckon he's done a pretty good job on Buddy in those games. Hasn't hit the scoreboard too much. Kicked 4 earlier this year against us, but I reckon Rancy played really well that night.
Yeah, Rancy did play well, and actually if you went back over that game, I think 2 of the goals were unfortunately where Rancy was handing over to someone else and just couldn't get to Buddy, so Rancy O'Saley only had a couple kicked on him. But
there was a soft free kick and a mark that shouldn't have been paid as well.
Well, there you go.
So he shouldn't have conceded any. Should have been 0.
Yeah, but he's got a great record on him, and what Rancy's like, mate, he challenges himself to play on the best, and he's the sort of player who mentally just knows how to play Buddy and get the positioning right and take away his lead space. So again, it's we speak about our defence, but it's important that our midfielders and forwards up the ground don't provide Sydney with the opportunity to get the ball in quickly to him. But if Rancy can go to keeping him down to those stats there that you've got there, it's going to go a long way to us winning. So he knows the challenge he's in for, but he loves that sort of challenge, and we've got great confidence in him.
He's going to get touches, Buddy. You want him to get him up the ground, I guess, and I reckon Rance matches him for athleticism. So it's going to be a great battle. Nick Malcheski's had an unbelievable year off half-back for the Sydney Swans. They're big numbers, aren't they, for a half-back? He just gives them so much drive.
Yeah, he has, and again, being in charge of the forward line, you go through some statistics for him, and he's their number one rebounder and number one handball receive player from the back half, so they certainly like to free him up across that half-back line, so we'll obviously have something in place to counteract that. Against us last time, he didn't have an impact, and they sent him to the wing, and he rolled back and started getting hold of us, so he actually can go to the wing and roll back in defence as well, so he's pivotal to the way they play, so we'll obviously have something in place to make sure he doesn't have that game this week.
He went down forward against the Dogs and kicked a couple as well, so he does really push down the ground.
Yeah, he does, and I think even if you cast your mind back to that grand final, they won. He kicked a couple of goals from forward 50 stoppages where he came down with his opposition. So, we've got to be mindful of the fact that if you try and take him up the ground, he'll come with you. And again, just need to probably at times do different things with him, but he's pretty important to them.
The other one who gets under the guard a little bit and has had another outstanding year, Luke Parker. I reckon he's one of the most improved players in the competition. How do you see his form?
Absolutely. He's probably been the pick of their midfielders over the last month. He's probably been best on ground in 2 or 3 of the last 4 weeks, and obviously with Kennedy out, he's probably gone more into the midfield and had a massive impact for him. And as you said, he gets under the opposite guards. You've got McVeigh and Jack and Kennedy, these sort of guys who you basically go after, and he gets off the chain. So again, it's going to be really important for our midfielders who are playing just as good a football as these guys, that we can beat them with contested ball, not allow them to get some outside football, but more importantly, just take away that guy's space. He will get up the ground and run hard forward, so we just got to make sure that we don't allow him to do that.
Up to Sydney, but not the SCG, out at ANZ Stadium. Do you get up there tomorrow and have a training run first?
Yeah, we do. We fly up there. I think we leave about midday, and normally we go straight to the ground and have a training run, but I think there's a rugby game there or something, right. So we can't get on the ground till 6 o'clock. So I think the ground's going to be a little bit patchy because of the fact that the grandstands are coming in and all sorts of things. So
could be a bit wet. It's been raining in Sydney as well.
Yeah, so they say, but we've travelled well this year. Boys like travelling, so it's a big occasion for us, and we can just go over there and control what we can control, and hopefully get the job done for everyone.
There's no danger of the boys getting up to any mischief out there either, because there is nothing to do out there at Homebush.
Literally nothing. Literally nothing, mate.
Oh well, thanks for joining us. I'll see you next week.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the next 3 weeks of Spotlight, mate. It's definitely be back next week, won't we?
Yeah, we'll be back. I'll
100%.
see you here, same place. Good luck on Saturday, Danny.
Thanks, Mark.
Well, there you go. That's been the Spotlight on round 23. Any Tigers fans in Sydney, get out to ANZ Stadium, watch training tomorrow night, get to the game on Saturday. Go Tigers.